Welcome to footballgameplan.com, where football makes sense. I'm Emery Hunt, the czar of the playbook, bringing you a 2012 team preview for the Chicago Bears. So let's start with their offense to see what we can expect the Bears to look like this season. I'm a Jay Cutler fan. I think he was on his way to an all-pro season last year before the injury, and you can't blame him against San Diego going to chase down his mistake to try to make a tackle. I love that about a quarterback. It shows toughness. It also shows leadership. Where I like that he is going to get improvement is from his offensive line. The scheme-wise is going to be better. Now that Mike Martz is gone, he's going to keep that extra guy in to help protect up front, and also by adding weapons for him in the passing game. The Bears were on a run last year up until Cutler's injury, and then they took a slide. Caleb Haney couldn't hold it down, so now they bringing it back up in Jason Campbell, a guy that's very underrated his whole career. So the Bears quarterback situation was a question mark behind Cutler. I think it's now a strength. They solved that with Jason Campbell. You can make a legitimate argument for Matt Forte being the best running back in the NFL. This guy has every attribute you want out of your starting tailback. He has the size. He's 6'2", 220 pounds. Has the vision. He can see the cutback lane and hit it with acceleration. He has breakaway speed. He also catches the ball well out of the backfield, and he's an adequate blocker in blitz pickup. So you want that out of your tailback. The Bears have to pay the man, keep the man locked up for many years out there in Chicago. They haven't had a back this great since Neil Anderson. So this is a special player. The Bears got themselves a star, a guy that poses immediate matchup problems for opposing defenses. What I like about what they did this year, they brought in a capable backup in Michael Bush. Michael Bush has some excellent years with the Raiders. He's also in the mold of a guy that can catch the football out of the backfield and has power when he runs the football. This is a great addition. And you also can't forget about Khalil Bell. The Bears running back situation is one of the stronger points on his offense. This is where all the excitement is right now for Chicago, the receiving core. You add Brandon Marsh. You see what he's doing right there. This is why he's a top talent in this league. He can go and get a football. Jay Cutler knows he can go up there and put the ball up top. Brandon Marshall will fight for it. So I like what they add to Brandon Marshall. That's just going to open things up for everyone else on offense. You know, this guy is a gamer. He's a guy that has toughness, and he has outstanding run after the catch ability. You can tell he wants to be great. But I like what they did in the draft, getting Alshon Jeffrey. Those that follow me on YouTube and Twitter know I've been an Alshon Jeffrey fan all off season. This guy is another Brandon Marshall type of guy. Goes up and gets the football, so there's no bad pass that he can't catch. With that said, you look at the possible matchup with Jeffrey, Marshall. Now you're throwing guys like Earl Bennett. Now Kellen Davis is going to find more room to roam down the middle of the field. This Bears passing attack, one, has all type of guys that can make plays, catch bad passes, and also get separation. And you look at the tight end, is going to be a little bit more explosive this year because Mike Martz is gone, so he's going to utilize the tight end a little bit more. I like the Bears passing game. Oh, and don't forget, they have this guy called Devin Hester. You just get the football in his hand quickly, and he's going to take it a distance. The Bears passing game is one that no one will want to face this season. Offensive coordinator Mike Tyson, offensive line coach Tim Holtz spent the entire offseason deciding how are we going to protect Jay Cutler. And I think when you look at it, the subtraction of Mike Martz from this offense will probably result in better offensive line play. Mike Martz's passing scheme put a lot of pressure on the tackles to protect up front because they didn't have that extra guy back there blocking. The tight end didn't usually stay in, but the offensive line will look a lot better this year. Let's keep in mind, they do open holes for the running game. They do a great job in run blocking. Pass protection will look a little bit different, but they have some stars there. You gotta like Roberto Garza did a great job moving the center. And this is essentially Gabe Karimi's rookie season. He missed practically all of last season, his rookie season, with injury, so he comes back healthy. That bolsters that offensive line, and I really like Lance Lewis. So keep an eye on this Bears offensive line. They're going to look a lot different this year, and the word different in this situation means better. Start with Julius Peppers when you talk Bears defensive line. You talk about a guy in his 11th season still commanding double teams, and that opens up a lot for everybody else on his defensive line. This guy still has elite pass rushing skills, long arms, still very athletic. They need to get help on the opposite side of Peppers. Israel Adonijah is a guy that does a great job in stopping the run, but he's not the pass rusher that you need. Where I have a question is that on the interior, you look at guys like Matt Tuena and also Henry Melton. Where is Henry Melton throughout games? But I like Stephen Paye. I like the strength he possesses at the point of attack, but look out for rookie Shea McClellan. They drafted this guy. Some people booed the move, but I like the move. when you get a guy that rushes the passer, you put him in a situation where all he has to do is rush the passer, he should do a great job. So I think this would be a steal for the Bears and help bolster the sack production that was only at 33 last season. Most linebackers struggle when they don't get the help from their defensive tackles, but not the Bears linebackers. All these guys can do the same thing. They can cover, they can tackle, they sniff out the football, and they make impact hits. Brian Urlacher, in my opinion, is a future Hall of Famer. I love the way this guy played the game. Been a big fan of his since he came into the league. Now, you look at the other guys, Nick Roach, another guy that does a great job as far as diagnosing plays and making impact plays in a running game. You have to like Lance Briggs, one of the thumpers in this league. Few guys that play the linebacker position as aggressive as Lance Briggs, and you have to like that effect that he has on the defense. But I like the two additions that they bring over, two guys that come in. Geno Hayes, they bring over from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think he's going to do a fine job out there. And also underrated Jabara Williams comes over from the Rams. This guy brings a lot of speed, so you may see him in nickel type situations rushing the passer for the Chicago Bears defense. There's some question marks about the Bears secondary, but not about that guy right there. Charles Tillman, entering his 10th year in the league, has a nose for the football, does a great job in rush support, and also can cover very well. Now, where the questions lie is depth concerns. I have some questions about the depth, but they bring over Calvin Hayden, coming over from Atlanta, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts as well. Can they get adequate depth behind their frontline starters? Because all teams did last year was spread these guys out and attack the nickel and dime corners. But the safety position is also a question mark. You have guys back there in Chris Conte and also Major Wright. Can they get better in the back half of their defense? DJ Moore is a guy that plays excellent, knows for the football as another corner. But if they can get these questions answered in the secondary, the Bears defense would look a lot better as a whole. The main reason for optimism in Chicago is the fact that Jay Cutler returns healthy. They've added Brandon Marshall. They've addressed receiver again in the draft with Elshon Jeffrey. So the offense should be in place. Your offensive line looks to get better with the absence of Mike Martz. So you're going to see more protection for Jay Cutler in that passing game. So that's why Bears fans have a lot of optimism. That's why a lot of guys outside looking in also have optimism for the Bears, because the defense is in place for these guys to make a run. The cause for concern for the Bears has to be on the interior of their defensive line. The D tackles have to show up and play this year, because I have full confidence that the edge rushers can get to the quarterback. And you also have the ongoing question about the offensive line. Can Jay Cutler trust his protection? If so, then this offense, this passing offense, will be vastly improved in 2012. So we know the Bears can run the football. If the passing game catches up with the running game, this could be a dangerous team. But there also is a question about the secondary. This team got gashed last year in the passing game, almost 260 yards a game given up. They have to get better in coverage. If so, then this defense will be better as a whole, but it all starts up front. Getting more pressure helps out the secondary. I think the Bears finished first in the NFC North. You have to look at it this way. The Bears were on a roll up until Jay Cutler got injured. Then they went on that slide with Caleb Haney. But I think this team right now is built for success. Defense is solid. Special teams is excellent. Offensively, they've gotten better. And I think they match up well with everyone in their division. So when you have a sound running game, explosive passing potentially, and a defense that can get after the quarterback with sound special teams, you already have the formula for success.